All right. Hello, everyone. This is the Mgtow Cowboy. Greetings and salutations. I got another one for you. This is going to be a shout-out video. This video is dedicated to JAH Rules. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of JAH Rules. He is a content creator. I think he calls himself a Mgtow. I know he talks about Mgtow extensively, and I'm pretty sure he considers himself a Mgtow, and I like a lot of his work. So I'd recommend, if you guys have never heard of him, maybe you can go take a look. Again, his name is JAH Rules, J-A-H, and then Rules, R-U-L-E-S. JAH as in like the Rastafarian, the name for God for the Rastafarians. And his sigil, or his moniker, or his sigil is what's his name? It's a picture of Bob Marley. So you can just go on YouTube, punch in JAH Rules, and then, well, I recommend putting Mgtow first, Mgtow, and then JAH Rules, and then he comes right up. Anyway, this is a real short video by him where he talks about, he talks about his thoughts on Mgtow. All right, here goes.
No, I was thinking about the moniker of men going their own way. It should really be man going his own way, because we're all starting from different points in our lives. So it's going to be, for example, like you got some guys who have never been involved with women to where they procreated and married and ended up, going through the family court and divorce court and getting raped. And you got the guys out here who just went through the family court system and didn't like that. And you got the guys, the wise ones, who never got involved with none of that family court, child support, marriage laws to get raped and get taken out of their assets. So he's going to be starting from a different point than the guy that got divorce raped. If you got a guy that's divorce raped and he's 45, and then you got a guy who's 30 and never got involved with no kid, none of that, he's at a different starting point, or more to say a better starting point, and he's going to end up someplace different. And the guy that, was going through family court and said, never again for me, he started at a different point than the other two guys. So it should really be man going his own way, because the collective of men makes it sound like it's a group, and man is singular. So, and like I said, everybody's starting from a different point. Everybody's...
Okay, if I can stop it right there. Yeah, I would, so he makes 2 points. The first thing he says is, he talks about how the acronym Mgtow, everyone knows it as men going their own way, but it's actually an individualistic philosophy, so it might be more appropriate to call it man going his own way. That's fine, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I guess most of us call it men going their own way. So at this point, it's just an exercise in semantics. But I think what he means to say, and I don't mean to put words in his mouth, but what I think what he means to say is, if we call ourselves men going their own way, we can confuse people, and they will then think that we are a collective, or we are working together. But we're not. This is an individual thing. It's an individual worldview or philosophy. So that being said, I guess that makes sense, but whatever. Most of us just call us men going our own way. And then the second thing he mentions reminded me of an old saying that I've heard before. So before making this video, I actually went back and looked it up online, and I found out that it was an old Chinese proverb. And I want to liken an ancient Chinese proverb to what he just said. There is an old Chinese proverb that I looked up, and it said, I already forget how it goes verbatim, but to paraphrase it, it goes something like, a fool never learns from his mistakes. A smart man learns from his mistakes. And the wisest of men learn from the mistakes of others. And I think, or I liken what JAH Rules just said right now to that Chinese proverb. So notice how JAH Rules was talking about, men start off at different points and men end up at different points. And then he even uses the word wisest. He says something like, Again, he just said something like, you know, you got the 45-year-old guy who just got divorce raped, and then you've got the 30-year-old guy who's smart. I think he says the word he uses is wise, and then the 30-year-old guy doesn't even get married. Well, I think that saying relates to what he just said. Essentially, the most ignorant of men will get married, and the dumbest, the most foolish of men will get married, and they might get married multiple times. But a smart man will get married once, and he'll say, you know, never again. But the smartest of men, the wisest of us, and I think that comprises largely of what we call Mgtow men, they totally choose to avoid this quagmire altogether, and they just say, forget it. So basically, Mgtow are men who are smart, who are the smart ones and the smartest, the smart and the wisest. We're the smarter end of guys. We learn that this thing is a scam, and so we avoid it. So moving on.
Going in different directions. If I'm in the northeast part of the country, somebody in the Midwest, no matter what their situation is, they could have the same situation as me, but we're still starting at a different point because he's in the Midwest and I'm in the Northeast. But yeah, it really should be taken away. I don't have enough influence to have, to change the whole thing. Not men going their own way, really man going his own way. Man going his own way. Yeah, there's an H in there some way. Yeah, so the whole moniker, not that I got a decree to say that we should call it man going his own way. No, as much as I'm saying that it really is it's not a collective, so it's men is a collective, or man is singular. And it also takes away what's the number one shaming language when it comes to this Mgtow shit anyway? That you like men. That's why you want to be around men so much. So, not to take anything away from anybody that wants to, let it stay the way it is, but that just gives the trollops one less thing to talk about.
Okay, that's the end of the video. Again, notice how he talks about, the semantics. Is it men going their own way, man going their own way? Basically, I think his point is we're not a collectivist movement. So he reiterates that, and I agree with him, of course. And then lastly, notice how he right at the very end, he mentions how one of the most common tactics that women employ against us. Right? It's almost all of it's just shaming and blaming us. Shame and blame. What is one of the most common tactics that women will use to shame Mgtow? They call us gay. So he mentioned that. Just there you go, shaming tactics, and recognizing that. All right, so that's it. Again, his name is JAH Rules, and just punch in JAH Rules Mgtow, he comes right up, and that's it. If you guys like the video, please comment, please like, please subscribe, and you guys have a good rest of your day. All right, bye now.